what's up guys? So we finally got a nice day to get back out in the garage, so stay tuned. Alright guys, and I also picked up something here, and this is the mess left from it. And yeah, that's probably the biggest purchase, well, yeah, I guess biggest purchase I've made for the garage, really. But it's something I've needed for a long time, and it's kind of coming late, you know, in kind of late since I've made some changes to the garage. But here you can see I've got a motorcycle lift. Finally, this is just one from Harbor Freight. With the 20% off, it came out to around $370, which isn't too bad, I guess. I mean, it's a really nice lift. Like, it's got really nice thick metal. I mean, it's not flimsy at all. So far it's been really great. But like I said, I've needed this for quite some time, and it's kind of late in the garage, you know, for getting it, because now I've only got one bike left. And you might ask, well, you had 2 bikes last year. Well, early this year, I ended up selling my KLR 650, mainly because I told myself if I didn't ride it in 2018, I was going to sell it, because I didn't ride it much in 2016. Only for a couple videos I rode it in, and I was mainly riding this one for, you know, all the trips and rides and stuff that I did, because it's just a little bit funner of a bike, a little bit smaller, a little bit more versatile, whereas the KLR is a little bit more of a bike to take some trips on. So anyway, I ended up selling the KLR 650 to a friend, and it's got a good home now. And I'm down to one bike, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice only having to worry about maintenance on one bike, tires on one bike, and that kind of thing. But yeah, this lift would have been super nice if I had it whenever I was working on my GS 850 and my dirt bike and even the KLR. But at least we have it now, and this, you know, this may not be the only bike I'll ever own again. I may end up picking up another bike again someday. It's just right now I'm just down to one. I just kind of like worrying about one bike for now. I kind of got ahead of myself, and I had like 5 to 6 bikes at one time, and you know, that kind of thing. And really having that many bikes is just a pain, you know, having to order parts, and you wanting to work on them all, but you've got no room, and my garage was filled, you know, so. And now even I've got stuff out of the garage. I've ended up picking up, you know, you've watched some, if any of you have watched any of my previous videos during the winter time here, I've been making a lot of computer videos, and this is just some stuff I picked up. All this was free, you know, PC 10s, Commodores, those I've all tore down for parts and going to get rid of the cases. I just kept the parts, and those 2 are going to go to somebody going to pick them up, and all the, I think most of the monitors somebody's going to pick up, and I'll get rid of that out of here. And then I kind of got the fridge, or not the fridge, but the garage filled with our old fridge. We ended up picking up a new fridge because this one here, the door in it, the flapper that like regulates the cold air coming from the freezer side, kind of stopped working. So now the freezer would get too cold, or the fridge would get too cold, and the milk was freezing and stuff. It was kind of annoying, so I ended up getting a new fridge, and I ended up getting one with the big drawer on the bottom, so it's definitely a lot more room now than that thing was. But anyway, I think today we're going to do a couple things to this bike. I need to change the oil. I'm going to get everything ready for this season, and I haven't fixed everything from last season. So I need to get the oil changed. I'm going to change the coolant, because I do that once a year, and I like to do it at the beginning of the year. I mean, you might as well, or else I'll forget halfway through. But might as well do it before I do any rides. We're going to put new 50/50 coolant in it, new oil, new filter, and then we got a couple things to fix from the last ride I went on. You know, I hit a couple big jumps, and the tire came up and smacked this plate, so I've got a crack there and a crack there. So what I need to do with this is make like a plate for the back of it out of some thin aluminum, or maybe even just double up. Like take another plate up there. Well, you can't really see, but I've got some plates up on top of there. I may just take another plate and double it up that way, because eventually the vibration like this from just riding is going to finish those cracks, and then my plate's going to fall off, and I definitely don't want that. And then on this side, when I went down on one of my crash videos, this peg right here, the spring popped off of what makes this peg stay taut. And it also, you know, when it flips up, it pushes it back. So you can see the spring's not broke there. It just kind of came off. It needs to flip up and get like right up on there and whatnot. So I'm going to fix that. And then I think I'm going to just, you know, go through and check the air on the tires and everything. And then in a new video, I'm going to be doing this here. This is something I've needed too, since I do have a Shirai battery in here, which is a lightweight lithium battery. It's like it's like a pound compared to the old battery, which was like 7 pounds. So it was a good upgrade, you know, dropping 6 pounds off the rear, especially up that high. This is the Shirai Charge and Store Battery Management System, and this is like a lithium cell balancer. You can charge the lithium battery with a normal lead acid battery charger, but it won't balance the cells. So what this does is it balances the cells, and it makes the battery last longer. And then this also has a store function, so you can charge it and store it. And the store mode kind of makes the battery go up anywhere between 80%, then it'll drain itself to 60%, then slowly charge it to 80%. And it'll kind of keep doing that, and that really helps the cells stay nice and, you know, new and working. That way when you pull it back out in the summertime, you just click the charge mode, it charges it back to 100%, and you're ready to go. And then all winter long, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to unplug it. You just leave it plugged in all winter long. So if you're going to park the bike for 2 weeks or more, this is what you want. And that way you don't have to worry about the cells going bad or dying over time. And then it also comes with another maintainer. So I need to install this this little thing. It kind of what this is on my old one. This comes out the side and you can hook your charger to it without taking your cover off. This is the same thing here, but for the lithium. So I need to switch that out with that one. And that'll probably be in a new video on its own, and I'll kind of do a little bit of an unboxing. I've kind of taken it out here to look at it. And we'll do another video with a little bit of an unboxing. So stay tuned for that. But today, we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on here and check out the lift. So yeah, this is pretty cool here. So that lever releases it, and this lever lifts it up, and it's really not, you know, the pump in it is really nice, and it's man, the barrel of it's like that big around, you know. It's a 1,000-pound lift, so it'll pick this bike up no problem. I think this is like a 400-pound bike, 350 to 400 maybe. And you can take that off. It kind of just slides off, but I usually just leave it on. If I'm not going to be tripping over it, I'll just leave it there. And then it's got this access panel here. I don't 100% know what that's for. I think it's so that you can put the bike, like stick a jack under here, lift the rear up, and then you can take your tire off easier and kind of, you know, work on it that way. Or it may just be so that you can lift it up, pull it out, and you can spin your rear tire and lube up the chain. Alright, so we're going to do a few more pumps here, and now it'll go a little bit higher. You can see that once that is straight up, that's about as high as it goes. But right now it is pretty well up there. And then it's got a bar that goes in either slot there. It's got 2 holes right there and there, and you can slide it through, and that'll kind of keep it, so if it, oh well, here's the bar here. That'll keep it from like coming and crashing down in case the pump gives out. Not that it would hurt anything. I mean, it would just lower itself down and kind of make a loud noise when it slammed, I guess, if the pump really lost pressure. But I think what you're supposed to do is get it to there and then let the pressure off of the pump. That way it's sitting on that and not, you know, the pump's not really doing any work anymore, and, you know, sitting full of pressure. So now when you're ready to let it back down, you just pump it back up a little bit, pull the bar out, and let it down. So this is about perfect working height here, and I can just walk right up and take the oil cap out, because that's the thing that sucks about these bikes is, well, any bike really. I mean, these are probably a little bit better because they're taller. But just getting down on the cold garage floor, or just laying on the floor at all and messing with things. So now everything's up high, and this is going to be amazing. So anyway, I'm going to get to changing the oil. I'm going to lower it back down, start the bike up, let it warm up, and I'll drain the oil.
I feel like I'm running, getting nowhere. Can't stop staring at the pictures in my head. I listen to the words that you sold me, holding on till the end. Now you're way too far to keep from falling over. And if who you are, it's always getting in the way. I can't wait until everything goes crashing on you. Tell me who will save you now.
Alright, so we got the oil change, the filter, and everything's back together. I put 2 quarts in there with the filter change, so that should be plenty. It takes 1.9 with the filter, but I always add the 2 full quarts. It's not going to hurt that 0.1 extra of a quart. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do the coolant now. And right here we have the water pump. And here on the bottom is the little drain bolt. And it's got a little washer on there. That's how you can tell which one's the drain bolt. So I'm going to try, without making a mess possibly, to put this up into here. That way hopefully it'll come right out and go into my pan. Because if not, I would have to take the skid plate off, and we all know that's a pain. So we're going to try to avoid that and do it this way. We're just going to kind of let it trickle out at first. Like I said, I only do the coolant once a year just to refresh it. I think you can do it every 2 years probably. I think I've read that. But it's not very expensive. It's $8 for the Prestone 50/50. And that's not too bad. So I'm going to try to let a little bit more than that come out, because it might take a while, but I just don't want it spewing like that. I guess coolant ain't the worst thing to get in the skid plate. The worst thing to get in the skid plate's the oil. That's a pain to get out. Coolant will probably run right out and dry up. Coolant's still nice and clean looking, nice and green. Because I did just put this in last year when I bought the bike, and I think I bought this bike last February. So here we are in February again, doing a coolant change. So what little bit did get in the skid plate's dripping out right here into the pan, so we won't have any mess on our lift. Let that sit right there. Drain her out. Alright, so there's about everything I can get out. We got about almost half a pan full, maybe a quarter of a pan. A little bit over a quarter of a pan. And I think that'll be good. So let's go ahead and put our... Here's the drain bolt I was talking about. It's got a little washer on there. Kind of like your oil drain plug. Get that back onto there. Alright, so I guess why we got this up on the lift right here anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this peg, because like I said, it's come off of, the springs come out of its spot back there and off of the peg. And that happened, like I said, when I crashed, and it flipped up and hit this, and I guess it went up enough and put enough pressure on it that that came right off. So let me get a pair of needle nose and we'll pull that out. Hopefully we'll just break this head off and I can pull it out the bottom. Looks like what's happening. Yep, there we go. There's the head. Now we can get a better grip right here on the bottom. There we go. There's our spring. Spring's still in fine shape. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get that back in that little hole there. And then push that back through, bend that up, and it's almost there. And we just need to pop that over that. There we go. Working good again. Now I'll get a new cotter pin, put our washer back on. Good to go. that is that. So now we'll fill us up some coolant and see about fixing that license plate.